What's going on? Down in Sports Talk, coming at you live and direct Tuesday night. We are in the building. I'm in the building, left-handed at RM Desk on Twitter. If you rock with me over there, let me get this out first and foremost. Yada Bear is doing her family thing tonight. Salute to Yada Bear. You know what I mean? Hope your situation is what it is. She will definitely be back tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we're doing the show. Down in Sports Talk, we'll be coming at you on the hump day, getting it cracking, talking about everything that's going on in the NBA playoff, the play-in situation, WNBA draft, and anything else that we want to get into. But tonight, we're going to talk some baseball tonight, get into the MLB top 5, give my opinion a little bit on the WNBA draft, talk about some other things going on. We got a fight coming up April 22nd. Want to get that in, but I think I'm gonna wait for Yada Bear before we get into that really. All right. So you know the vibes, what it is down in Sports Talk, y'all. We in the building. It's Tuesday night. YouTube, StreamYard, Facebook. You know how we give it up. First things first. Like I said, shout out to Yada Bear. All right, my Code D is in the building, always in the building, always. She's like one of the best doing it right now. Y'all gonna find out soon enough, for real. All right, it's our first anniversary, man. Down in Sports Talk, first anniversary. Word up, man. It's crazy. It's been a year already. You know what I mean? And we're gonna hit y'all with some double dosages starting tonight and tomorrow. We got you, and then next week, next Tuesday and next Wednesday. Next Tuesday, we got a special guest in the building with us. Keith Avalon from play.com, playgames.com will be in the building talking some board games, man. I love board games, man. I'm nice with the sticks too, PlayStation and all of that, PSP, all of that, Xbox, all of that. I'm nice with that too, but I like to think when I play. I like to put myself in those positions as a manager or a coach, and we take it very seriously. And those games are very good. And I'm trying to put Yada Bear on to him, and we'll see what it is. Next week, Keith Avalon will be in the building from Play Games. All right. We are here. We are in the building, definitely getting it popping. You know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? What we're going to start off with is play-in. The NBA play-in starts tonight. Actually, it started already. We got the Atlanta Hawks down in Miami doing their thing against the Miami Heat. A lot of people are talking about the Miami Heat like they're this big scary team that everybody's supposed to be afraid of. If it was really like that, they wouldn't be in the play-in. And I picked Atlanta to win tonight for the simple fact that I think that, you know, adding DeJounte Murray to the Hawks situation makes them that much more formidable. And this year when they played Miami, those games weren't blowouts. Those games were really close. I think Miami did win the season series, but a lot of those games were decided by single digits. So that's what it is. And right now the Miami Heat are trailing the Atlanta Hawks, you know what I mean, down in Miami doing their thing. All they have to do is just keep playing the way they're playing consistently. Don't let Jimmy Butler do what he's do. It's the second quarter right now, about 6.5 minutes to go. Atlanta's up 53-36, so we'll keep you posted on that. And tonight, the Western Conference play-in game, you got the Los Angeles Lakers hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, for me, this is where the Lakers and the Laker fan base and the fan, I'm talking about Win Walker, I'm talking about the homie Mina off of Twitter, I'm talking about my man Slate, Kia, OG Wood, all of them, you know what I mean? Now it's your time to show and prove, right? You know, we talked about how the Lakers are supposed to be in the Western Conference Finals and how strong they are, LeBron and Anthony Davis, but you add a caveat when they're healthy, all right? There's no room for caveats now. Y'all went out and got what y'all got. You know what I mean? You added some scoring. You know what I mean? You got rid of Russell Westbrook. Okay. You added some scoring. Malik Beasley's going to help you. You know what I mean? D'Angelo Russell's back. You know, so again, the Lakers really, to me, they have no excuses against a depleted Minnesota Timberwolves team. All right. Their situation got worse with Rudy Gobert being, you know, suspended and is going to miss the game tonight. In regards to that situation they had with the kid Kyle Anderson. I mean, it was much ado about nothing. It happens all the time. Teammates get into it all the time. But for me, Rudy Gobert, you know, he's the guy that should really kind of like be seen and not heard. All right. Remember, he's Mr. COVID. All right. So he's the one that, you know, thought it was funny with, you know, touching everything when everybody was going through the COVID situation. And that was actually the night that it shut down. So the Lakers tonight should have their way. I'm looking for a big game from Anthony Edwards. You know what I mean? He has to really show and prove that he's the leader of the team. The Lakers, do what they do. They're expected to win tonight, but I want to see how the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to show up. All right, and even if the Lakers do happen to lose tonight, they have a chance to bounce back and play the winner of Memphis and the New Orleans Pelicans in that other playing game, which takes place tomorrow night. But I'm not looking forward to or looking at the Lakers losing tonight. I think the Lakers are going to win. They're going to win going away. They should anyway. And then, that will clinch, I think, the 7th spot for them. But here's the thing with the play-in situation, which I like to call the ultimate participation trophy. If you're 9-10, what are you doing with a chance to make the playoffs? You had 82 games to do what you needed to do, and you couldn't get it done. So you throw your caveat and say, okay, if you're the 9th or 10th team, we'll let you try to get a chance to play in. I get it, but then again, I don't get it. It takes away from, the teams that really, really deserve to be in those spots. And you got the 7th and 8th team that made it as the 7th and 8th team deserving that playoff spot. So now you have to play for your chance to really get in to get beat by the 1st or 2nd seed anyway. So again, back to the Lakers and how they do. They're going to have to go up against a top team in the Western Conference, man, and it's going to be a rough go for them. A lot of people are saying, the Western Conference is weak. It flip-flops. It fluctuates. First the Western Conference is dominating because the East wasn't winning the championships. Now the East is really showing up, and now it's like the Western Conference is garbage. The Western Conference has never been garbage. It's just really, really, competitive in the West. And we're going to see how everything rocks out as far as the Western Conference is concerned and this play-in thing. I like what the Atlanta Hawks are doing so far. A lot of people have the Atlanta Hawks written off. I mean, with their situation with Trae Young now coming up there, the Hawks are listening for trade offers for Trae Young. Again, to me, and this is just my opinion, I think that trading Trae Young would kind of like say to you, you got rid of the wrong guy. Nate McMillan is a winning coach. He's won everywhere he's been. Might not have been championships, but he's made teams competitive where he's been. And, Trae Young, he's playing like kind of outside himself. He thinks he's bigger than what he really is. You know what I mean? And all that about not having anything around him. You know how that talk is when you have a superstar and they're not winning like they're supposed to. Then all of a sudden, it's you got to have this guy. You got to have help. You need a 2nd or 3rd guy. Atlanta went and got DeJounte Murray. You know what I mean? To take some of the pressure off of Trae Young. But it is what it is. So, again, these teams are trying to win now. The Atlanta Hawks are up by 18 over Miami Heat with about 3:45 to go in the first half, and we'll keep you posted on that game. Last night, the 2023 NBA draft took place, right? And again, it was, how a draft is supposed to be. Nice and quick, keep things moving, keep it moving along, you know what I mean? You won't be here waiting 4 and 5 and 6 minutes for each team to make a pick that they already know what they're going to do anyway. So again, the Indiana Fever had the number 1 pick. They took Aaliyah Boston from South Carolina, which was a foregone conclusion. The Indiana Fever, we talked about them last year. Myself and Yada Bear, we talked about how the Indiana Fever were, doing what they needed to do last year, and ended up in the NBA draft with the top picks in the NBA draft, and now they got Aaliyah Boston. So again, she has all the physical tools and the skills on both sides of the ball to be a franchise player and to help turn around an Indiana Fever team that hasn't made the playoffs since 2016, right? The Minnesota Lynx, they were 2nd in the WNBA draft. They took Diamond Miller, all right, the guard from Maryland. She had a really, really, really good senior season that saw her lead Maryland to the Elite 8, all right, for the first time since 2015. She's 6'3". She has guard skills and a forward's body. All right. And she has potential on both sides of the ball to make things work. I think Minnesota's going to pair her with Nafisa Collier. All right. And that's going to be a nice situation in Minnesota to give them a nice foundation, because it's going to seem like the WNBA team is going to make more noise than the NBA squad. And that's for another time, for another day. What I noticed last night in the draft, a lot of these, females, these young ladies, very, very tall, 6'5", 6'3", 6'1", 6'7". And again, it's a testament to, wanting to do the thing right, play the game right, have, size and be able to get rid of being small and smallish, and you can't do what you need to do with the basketball. And these players are coming in with the height, which takes away, that excuse. Now you have skills to go along with your height. And these kids have been playing, AAU ball, high school ball, travel ball. So they're skilled. And again, this is where they want to end up being in the WNBA draft. The Dallas Wings took Maddie Siegrist from Villanova. Okay, they needed more scoring. All right. They lost Alicia Gray and they lost Marina Mabry. You know what I mean? In the wintertime. So again, Siegrist is a young lady who should be able to provide some scoring for Dallas. She led the nation in scoring over 29 points a game. And she shot 36.1% from the three-point land for Villanova last year. All right. Dallas Wings, they selected Stephanie Soares from Iowa State. All right. And again, I think she was traded to Washington, all right, for a future first and a future second. Soares was a, two-time player of the year at the NAIA level. All right, was doing her thing at Iowa State before she tore her ACL in January, and she won't be able to play this summer. But again, that's a stash away pick for them. And again, she comes with serious upside if she can stay healthy. All right. Then the Dallas Wings took another player, Lou Lopez Seneschal from UConn. All right, she used to transfer from Fairfield to UConn, and that step up in competition was no problem for her. She's basically the best outside shooter in the draft, making 44% of her attempts from downtown. All right, for UConn. People saying it's a little bit of a surprise that she went at number 5, but I think that Dallas wanted to target a shooter, and they got that in Seneschal. All right, the Atlanta Dream, they drafted at number 6. Haley Jones, all right, a guard out of Stanford. I think that she ended up slipping a little bit in the draft because she never really developed the outside shot. But I think that she does everything else well. She's going to be able to guard multiple positions on the floor, and she's an excellent playmaker, especially in transition. So I think that situation where she's going to fit in Atlanta, she'll be doing her thing. But again, it's going to be one of those situations where she's going to have to be able and willing to shoot the basketball. But at this point in the draft, I think Atlanta did what they needed to do for them. At number 7, the Indiana Fever drafted again. They took Grace Berger out of Indiana. All right. She's from Indiana. She went to the University of Indiana. So now she's, going to play for the Indiana Fever. She isn't much of an outside threat shooting, but I think she's versatile. She's efficient. And I think she's, she does her thing. She's going to be tough. She's 6 feet. She may not have the upside of some players, but I think that she should be able to contribute right away. And I think that's another solid pick for the Indiana Fever. The Atlanta Dream came in at number 8 with Letitia Amir from South Carolina. Okay, another one of Dawn Staley's girls. The Dream added another athletic, versatile wing in Amir. She's 6'4". She didn't really put up a lot of big stats in South Carolina because I believe she was coming off the bench, and she was able to, adapt to any role that Dawn Staley had for her and asked her to fill. She has length, she has athleticism, and I think that she's going to be an exciting prospect to watch with, a potential on both sides of the basketball. All right, number 9, the Seattle Storm took Jordan Horston. I was looking for her to go a little earlier. Her falling all the way to number 9 by the Seattle Storm was a little bit surprising. Okay. I think that she's basically one of the best prospects, if not the best prospect on the board. 6'2". She's got great size. She's got athleticism on the wing. And I think she's an underrated playmaker. And she also defends. So, again, she's going to need to continue refining her game. And she has a very, very big upside of potential. Again, the Storm are going to try to build because, they have to look for somebody to step in to fill that role that, Breanna Stewart held and Sue Bird, once they lost those great players. All right. At number 10, and this was the pick right here for me. I was very, very interested to see where Zaya Cook went. All right. She went to the Los Angeles Sparks, another guard, another one of Dawn Staley's players out of South Carolina. All right. She's a third member of that historic 2018 recruiting class. All right. The The Sparks needed some backcourt depth, and they went with Zaya Cook. And again, she made 2 NCAA all-tournament teams. And I think, she's coming off the most efficient and offensive season of her collegiate career. She just got to, improve her three-point shot a little bit more. And I think she did, because when I watched every game, when I watched South Carolina, Zaya Cook was in the middle of their runs. All right, whether it was making the three-pointer, coming up with a crucial steal at a crucial time, or just being in the mix. You know what I mean? I think that she'll be a very, very good fit for the Los Angeles Sparks. Talk about the WNBA draft a little bit. It was very, very quick. I liked it. You know what I mean? The players, got their shine on. They got to be celebrated as they should. And it was a great thing for them. But I just, was interested and very, very interested in how quickly it went. You know what I mean? I think that, the NFL and the NBA, they could take notes on how efficient and how much they squeezed into the time. Not that they were rushed. It was just how it flowed. We know the WNBA didn't have that many teams. I think it was 36 picks altogether, but still in all, the first round came and went. And it was very, very exciting. And a salute to all the young ladies who got drafted and now going to begin their careers. Now that we're past that, now it's going to be time to get real. A lot of these young ladies it's the WNBA training camps all the way up and down the board are going to be very, very competitive. It's going to be interesting to see which one of these top picks, we just went through the top 10. It's going to be interesting to see who makes it and who doesn't, because I think it's going to be some disappointments. You know what I mean? Some of these players are going to, have to, end up going, overseas and playing or refining their game. But again, I'm going to speak for Wnba right now, where they should have expansion in the WNBA sooner than later. So again, if the goal is to have these young women, stay stateside and play where they were drafted at, even though they have a few international players that were, in the WNBA draft, the goal is to play, in the WNBA and not have to supplement your income by going overseas and playing. All right, that's what we're talking about with the WNBA draft. This is Down in Sports Talk, man. Tuesday night, you got your man left-handed at RM Desk holding it down. You know what I mean? Wnba is doing her thing. Salute every time. You already know she'll be back with us tomorrow night, man. We're doing the show tomorrow night because it's Down in Sports Talk first anniversary. We've been here a year, y'all. Been here a year. You know what I mean? And again, we're going to hit y'all with a double dosage tonight, tomorrow, next Tuesday, next Wednesday. We have a special guest in the building with us next Tuesday night. So look forward to watching that. Rock out with us. And that's what it is. I'm a baseball head, right? And we're going to get into the thing. Major League Baseball first week. You know what I mean? I want to talk about the top 5 teams that we watch. I mean, it's early in the season, but everybody's going crazy because the Tampa Bay Rays won their first 10 games of the season. I mean, again, at the end of the day, to go 10-0 in a 162 game season is all right. I mean, I guess I don't know what else you want to say about that, but it is what it is. So the top 5, right? Number 5, we got the San Diego Padres, right? They're doing what they need to do. And I think that, with the addition of the guy who's always ended up missing, all right, that's Fernando Tatis Jr., I think that they're going to be, expected to do some things. Their lineup is crazy. You already know they got Juan Soto in the building, all right, to go along with the team that they already have with, Yu Darvish on the mound and, all of that stuff right there is going to help the San Diego Padres, challenge the Dodgers. We talked about them. I think that the San Diego Padres are going to win the National League West. And again, I think with what they have to do and what they're going to do, it's going to be a long season. You're going to have injuries. You're going to have, a lot of stuff going on. And it's a long season, but I give them their respect for doing what they do. And number 4, you got the Atlanta Braves. Of course, the Atlanta Braves, a lot of people are, going crazy about the New York Mets. And I think the Atlanta Braves are the team that people need to watch. They need to keep their eyes on them. Ronald Acuna, Ozzie Albies, one of my favorite players in the league. Their pitching, to me, leaves a little bit less to be desired. But I think that the Atlanta Braves are going to do what they need to do as far as trying to, hold the Mets off. And it's going to be exciting to watch all summer long how these teams deal with each other and keep each other at at arm's length, so to speak. I mean, because you have a very exciting Florida Marlins team in the National League East, and again, everybody sees each other. So I think that's also going to be very, very, very interesting in regards to how this season is going to move along. Talking about the Atlanta Braves, they really weren't above 500 for good until June the 5th of last year. All right. In 2021, if you remember, it took them till August to get above 500. They're not going to be worried about losing the series here or there in April, but I think that they're going to have to really, really play consistent ball, and a lot of people are watching them. Okay, I got the Atlanta Braves at number 4. The New York Yankees, my New York Yankees. After the first week of the season, I can't really complain. I like what we've seen so far out of the youngster Anthony Volpe, right? I like what I've seen out of Garrett Cole, right? The goal in baseball is to win series. That's the goal. The Yankees have taken 2 or 3 each of their 3 series so far this season. And again, we talk about April baseball. It's like, yeah, come on, really? You know what I mean? But again, it is what it is. I got the Yankees at number 3. At number 2, I got the Milwaukee Brewers. All right. If it wasn't for the Tampa Bay Rays, the Brewers might be, in the number 1 spot for who's had the most impressive start of the season. They won 2 out of 3 in Wrigley Field before sweeping the Mets. That's big. All right. And then they took 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals. So you got to put some respect on the Milwaukee Brewers and what they've done so far this season. Number 1, Tampa Bay Rays, of course, 10-0. You know what I mean? And their pitching staff is crazy. The way that Jeffrey Springs is throwing the ball right now is a nothing else to say. He's just doing what he needs to do. And we all know about Shane McClanahan. All right, that's another one of the Tampa Bay's top, pitchers in their rotation. And Tyler Glasnow is coming back in May, so they're going to add. You know what I mean? As long as those, that lineup can stay healthy and do what they need to do. And I don't even want to mention how deadly this team could be in September and October, because we got Memorial Day, we got the 4th of July, we got Labor Day, we got all that to hit, to talk about before we could get to talking about a postseason situation as far as baseball is concerned. Again, when you talk about the, Major League Baseball, the pitch clock thing is working wonderfully so far. It's working very, very good. I like it. We had a game last week. I think it was Seattle Mariners. It was 1 hour and 57 minutes. And again, that's what you want to see. You want to see. You don't want to sit in the stands for 3 or 4 hours. Shout out Wnba. You don't want to do that. And I think the average game now has been like 2.5 hours, maybe 2 hours and 40 minutes. You're going to get those anomalies. Those games are going to be 3 hours because, big innings, pitching changes, things of that nature. You're going to get those. But I think at the bigger issue is just to make the games shorter, make it more, enjoyable for the new audience. Again, a lot of people, didn't like it at first, but it's worked out. We've had some strikeouts on, pitch clock violations. It's funny to see that on the scoreboard, PCV, pitch clock violation. Then you got a timer and things of that nature. So again, it's going to work to some people's advantage. It's going to work to some people's disadvantages. You're not going to see, again, and we talked about it, the Nomar Garcia checking your batting gloves and your wristbands between every pitch. And I think so far, so good. It's worked out. We've seen an uptick in scoring. We've seen an uptick in defensive plays in the infield and the outfield. So really the shift doesn't matter. I've also seen a lot of balls being hit straight up the middle. I think Wnba mentioned that a couple of weeks ago with balls being hit straight up the middle. We're going to see now the defensive prowess of these infielders to see if they can really, hold it down and do what they do and earn those gold gloves, So, again, Major League Baseball, the first week so far, so good. Can't be mad at what's going on with it. Again, the kid from the St. Louis Cardinals, with he's hitting 10 straight games. He's played the first 10 games of his career. So, again, I think when you talk about what's going on in baseball in the first week of the season, I like it. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to talk to Wnba about it tomorrow night and see what she thinks. Now, when you talk about good teams versus bad teams so far this season, it's early. You look at it like, the Phillies took 2 out of 3 from the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds took 2 out of 3 from the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates swept the Red Sox. The Red Sox took 2 out of 3 from the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles took 2 out of 3 from the Texas Rangers, and the Rangers swept the Phillies. All right? Here we go. The Yankees took 2 or 3 from the San Francisco Giants. The Giants took 2 or 3 from the White Sox. The Giants were also swept by the Royals, who lost 3 out of 4 to Toronto, who lost 2 out of 3 to St. Louis, who were swept by the Atlanta Braves, who lost 3 out of 4 to San Diego Padres. And the White Sox split 4 games with the World Series champion Houston Astros, who lost 2 out of 3 to Detroit Tigers. Are the Tigers the best team listed above? Nah. It's, a week into the season, 2 weeks into the season. I think that, again, we could say this to add a cherry on the top. The Detroit Tigers got swept by the Tampa Bay Rays. So, again, we talk about the Tampa Bay Rays. It's early in the season, but nobody's really close to them right now. Nobody's close to them. They're 10-0. Give them their props. And then, again, at the end of the day, we're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Rays. Will we be talking about them on Memorial Day? I don't know. Will we be talking about them on the 4th of July? I don't know. But the thing about it is, will we be talking about the Tampa Bay Rays at the end of September? I'm interested in seeing the Rays against my Yankees. All right. That's going to be a measuring stick on what the Tampa Bay Rays have accomplished and what they might accomplish. All right. This is Down in Sports Talk, man. Tuesday night, we're in the building, holding it down, doing what we do. All right, for an hour, we're in the house, man, making it do what it do. If you like what it is right here, chime in with us, man. We're in the chat room, making it do what it do. Understanding that the NBA playing game is rocking tonight. The first of 2, we got the Atlanta Hawks and the Miami Heat rocking, and then later on, we got the Los Angeles Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, if I could speak a little bit in regards to that Minnesota Timberwolves situation, man. I think it's much ado about nothing, right? You got Rudy Gobert, kind of giving a half mush, half punch to Kyle Anderson. Teams go through it all the time. Teams are fighting with each other. People like to compare, situations like that to other situations. This is the Minnesota Timberwolves. We know that team always is going through it. One way or the other, they're going through something. One way or the other, whether it's the coaching situation or players unhappy, or Karl Anthony Towns or whatever else is going on. The Minnesota Timberwolves are always that team on paper, but they can't seem to get it done in real life situations. Halftime is the Hawks over the Heat, 65-50. Again, when you talk about the Atlanta Hawks, they're going through a situation. They got rid of Nate McMillan. You know what I mean? Now they want to, talk about, they want to, entertain offers with Trae Young. Hey, it is what it is, and we'll see what it is. But I think that they got rid of the wrong guy, and Trae Young had his moments. Nobody really talks about him. He was the darling of the league. A couple of years ago, we had that big series against the Knicks in the playoffs and did his thing against the Sixers in the playoffs and stuff like that. But I think that, Trae Young, I don't know, maybe he's outlived his welcome in Atlanta. Maybe he needs a trade to change the scenery, Again, he was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks, if you remember. He got traded for Luka Doncic. So, again, it is what it is. But I think that, the NBA play-in, as I like to call the ultimate participation trophy, it is what it is, and everybody gets theirs, and we'll see what it is. But what happens after you win this play-in. You got to play either the top seed or the number 2 seed, and good luck with that. The Masters. We don't talk about golf a lot. I don't really see a lot of sports shows talking about golf unless they're golf focused shows. Salute to John Rahm. He won the 2023 Masters. Okay, he's the 4th Spaniard to win the Masters. Remember, Sergio Garcia won it in 2017. Jose Maria Olazabal won it in 94 and 99. And the great Ballesteros won it in 1980 and 1983. Again, he did what he needed to do to win, But more importantly, I want to talk about Tiger Woods. I think, in my opinion, Tiger Woods came back way too soon, from the devastating injuries that he suffered in the car accident and other things that he got going on. I just think that, he's still young enough that he could have took a year or 2, maybe 3 years off, just working on the game, working on getting your strength up, so then you could come and try to, get those, get that Golden Bear record. A lot of people saying that it's out of reach. I don't think so. Remember, I'm not really a golf historian like that, but I can, keep a conversation. I think it was Ben Hogan. He came back to win after he had, dealt with a devastating injury. I think it was a car accident too, if I'm not mistaken. So again, it can be done, but you don't want to rush those things. Walk around on the course. I want to talk about the weather and how it was, going on down there because it was bad weather. But still in all, I think that, he came back entirely too soon. When you hear that Tiger Woods is coming back, everything stops. And everybody, drops what they're doing. And it's all about Tiger Woods. But then you watch this guy hobbling, across the greens. You know what I mean? Having people feel sorry for him and stuff like that. I just think that, you want to get that glory. You want to be able to compete, and you want to compete, and you want to win. But him, announcing that he's going to play in these tournaments, and then, well, I don't know if I can, what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go out there and play. People know you can play. People know you can play. They just want to be able to see you play at your best, at your 100%. You're not 100%. You know what I mean? Salute to everybody that's checking in. Salute to you. Wnba is not in the building, but it's all good. John Rahm, salute to you. Tiger Woods, take some more time, man. You know what I mean? You got, to enjoy your son. Get him prepared. You know what I mean? Because maybe he wants to follow in your footsteps. And I get it. You want to be out there. You want to compete. You want to win. You want to show and prove that you can come back from injuries. But you have to be able to come back. You have to be able to, do what you need to do. You're already at a disadvantage, man. You know what I mean? Don't rush the process. I'm a firm believer of just sitting back and taking your time, especially in a game like golf, man. And your legs and your feet are what you need. You have the tenacity. You know what to do when you get out there on that green, right? But your legs, man, you have to have, your legs up under you. You have to be strong to walk that course, man, to walk them 18 holes, and I think that's the only thing that's keeping Tiger Woods from being the Tiger Woods that we're used to seeing. Not that he's going to be, not the number one golfer in the world and all of that stuff, but at least he could be competitive to say, well, Tiger Woods came back. And it's been a while now when we talk about him announcing that he's coming to play in these tournaments. Then he doesn't make the cut, or he makes the cut. Then he has to withdraw because of injury. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that, man. We definitely don't want to see that. All right. So again, man, this is down at In Sports Talk. We are in the building doing what we do, and I'm holding it down. I'm doing it. Wnba is going to be here tomorrow night. We're going to get it popping. First anniversary. We've been here a year, man. A year in the building, down at In Sports Talk. A year. We talked about a lot of stuff in this first year, man. And again, salute. Thanks to Wnba. Thanks to everybody who rocks out with us on the Facebook page. We also on 60s.com. If you go to 60s, you can check us out over there. We're definitely in the building. Down at In Sports Talk is over there. It's a platform, kind of like Twitter. You know what I mean? Because Twitter is, on its last legs. So check out 60s, yo, and check us out over there. And that's just what it is. And we rock out 60s.net. Excuse me, it's 60s.net. Check them out over there. Check out down in Sports Talk. Check out all the topics and all the things that you can have. Get your profile popping over there, because you don't know, Twitter. You might try to check your Twitter one day and it'll be gone. 60s is the place to be. All right, down in Sports Talk, we are in the building. We've had our moments. Wnba, Super Bowl, participant. World Series participant. I mean, it's been the Wnba year here down in Sports Talk, man, and I'm just glad that we got a chance to, celebrate and make it happen. And she got a chance to, celebrate her team and stuff like that. Because when we was first doing this, man, I reached out to the big homie Star, and I said, yo, I need a co-host. And she reached out. You know what I mean? We chopped it up and we hit it off from the first beginning. Because again, for me, it was like just finding somebody who could hold their own and hold it down if I'm not here. You know what I mean? And I trust y'all that she's put me on to some things. So that's the bigger part about it. You know what I mean? No disrespect to nobody else. But again, I've been in situations where I've had, young ladies and ladies to hold me down on the sports talk tip. But it's just not as thorough right now. It's been all right. You know what I mean? They kind of like want to be more on the stuff that happens off the field. And I get it. I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean? But again, at the end of the day, man, I want somebody that can get down in the mud and get it cracking when, the going gets tough, and they can talk and hold it down and mean what they say and say what they mean. So that's what we've been doing for the last year, man. The channel has been growing at a nice pace. We're not trying to get 3 million people or 4 million people, because we know 4 million people are not going to watch every time. But we salute and shout out to everybody that's consistent, that rocks with us. You know what I mean? Sonny Cruz, he was the winner of the Down in Sports Talk NFL Pick'em this season. I got you. I ain't forget. I got you. And that's basically that, man. We just like to come on here and talk what we talk and get it popping, and like to chop it up with the people and stuff like that. NFL. The NFL draft is happening in a couple of weeks in Kansas City. All right. The talk has still been about the Carolina Panthers, how, they moved up. They traded with the Chicago Bears to get that number 1 pick. They're looking at a quarterback. One day it's C.J. Stroud. The next day it's the kid Richardson. We're not going to know until Roger Goodell goes to the podium and announces the pick, right? Devin White, Tampa Bay Buccaneers linebacker, Super Bowl champion. He decides that now he wants to be traded, and that's fine with me. Again, this is the season for these cats when, they're in the last year of their deals and they want to get their money and make it happen for themselves. I'm not mad at that. Devin White, 2019, we drafted him with the number 5 pick in the draft in the first round out of LSU. He did his thing. You know what I mean? He had 91 combined tackles, 2.5 sacks, 4 fumble recoveries, all right, 3 forced fumbles, an interception in 13 games, right? I think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is my team, so I'm going to talk about them, he's part of a defense that's kind of like on a downswing, all right? I'm not going to get myself upset and tight because, the secondary is garbage. It's burnt toast. And I'm the first one to tell you, shout out to Sonny Cruz. I know you're going to keep the sunshine, side of the road type of things and that bright perspective, but I like to keep it really, really real. And Devin White, you guys, and your play has been kind of like on a downshift since you won that Super Bowl. Okay? Again, in 2023, you have 5 sacks. What I'm going to do with that? What I'm going to do with 5 sacks? And you want to get your money, I dig it. You know what I mean? But again, it's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer thing. If you want to play with us, that's cool. If you want to get traded, I'm not really, sure about that. I'm just thinking that, it's just, he wants to renegotiate his deal. And I think now with the stats that you put up last year, hey, man, if we could find a deal for you, then so be it, We in the building, man, down in Sports Talk, man, Tuesday nights, 8 to 9 p.m. Yada Bear's not in the building. She will be in the building with us tomorrow night. We're doing a show tomorrow night, live and direct. First anniversary. You already know we celebrating. This week we got 2 shows. Next week we got 2 shows. Next Tuesday we got Keith Avalone in the building with us on playgames.com. All right, so that's basically that. 65-52, Atlanta Hawks lead the Miami Heat with about 11 and a half minutes to go in the third quarter. Later on tonight, we got the Lakers going against the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right. The other Eastern Conference playing game, you got the Toronto Raptors and the Chicago Bulls doing their thing. And in the Western Conference, you got the Oklahoma City Thunder and the New Orleans Pelicans doing their thing. So, again, that's what it is. April 22nd, Ryan Garcia, Javante Tank Davis at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Everybody's looking forward to that fight. I think that the hype around it is going to be really not this week, next week, the week after, the week of the fight. All right. I know that the weigh-in is going to be crazy. I've been watching the All Access. It's kind of like, it is what it is. It's not really anything spectacular. No secrets have been put out. Anything that we really already didn't know in regards to these guys. I just want to see what the build-up is going to be for this super fight. All right. Both of them are undefeated. I think, Ryan Garcia, he's going off to I'm an IG dude. I'm an IG, model, and I do this and I do that, and I'm going to bring my left hook with me. But I think that Ryan Garcia hasn't faced the power and the fighter of Tank Davis's, magnitude, man. I thought that, watching the Tank Davis fight against, Leo Santa Cruz. I thought Santa Cruz was kind of getting the best of him. Santa Cruz was, tall, lanky, doing what he needed to do until, Tank landed what he needed to land, that uppercut in the 6th round, and put Leo Santa Cruz to sleep. And I think Leo Santa Cruz is a very, very good fighter. I like Leo Santa Cruz. But Tank Davis did his numbers, and I think that, Tank Davis has done what he needed to do. I'm not tripping off the fact that Ryan Garcia got knocked down in the fight against Luke Campbell because he came back like a champion should. I'm not tripping off of that. But again, it's going to be a whole different scenario. This is going to be really, really, really big time. Tank has been in these moments, all right? It's going to be interesting to see how the crowd flows. Again, I think Tank Davis is definitely the A side. This is going to set up a lot of things for Tank. And Ryan Garcia, again, I think that, he's going to, give his best, not taking nothing away from that dude. I think that he's got to, put his foot in the lion's den, man. And we're going to see what it is. And I think that it's going to be the survival of the fittest. And I'm going to give my prediction of the fight as the fight gets closer. But I think that Tank Davis is going to do his thing. And I think Ryan Garcia is going to do his thing. Whoever lands first, it's going to be a tactical fight in the first couple of rounds. I think that Ryan Garcia, if he lands something, he, doesn't need to get excited because, that's the name of the game, to land. But I think that, again, Tank Davis, has been the master of the 6th round. If you watch his fights, okay, 6th round knockout against Leo Santa Cruz, 6th round against the guy Garcia in his last fight. So I think that, again, 6th round against Rolly Romero, so again, I think Tank Davis, watching around that 6th round, and take the over or under in that fight, you take the 6th round. All right. So that's what that is, man. We are definitely in the building doing what we do, man. If you like what we do, man, we do this for y'all, man. I used to do it for me. When I was doing the other sports shows, I used to do it for me, man. I would get up in the morning before I go to work and write a whole soliloquy every day, right? And people appreciated it, you know what I mean? But again, now people want to see. They want to see who's talking to them and who they're talking to. So we definitely are in the building tonight, man, making it happen. Just talking, some sports stuff, man. We're gonna do 2 shows. We got tonight, we got tomorrow night, we got next Tuesday, we got next Wednesday night. We are definitely in the building, man. Down in Sports Talk, man, holding it down. Yeah, like I said earlier, man, this is the era of, it's okay to lose. If you lose, that's okay. You can come back. You tried your best, and that's just what it is. But I think I'm, from the era of if you win, you're a winner. If you lose, you come back next year and do what you need to do. But again, I think people now make it bad to talk about somebody if they lose. If they lose, you just wasn't good enough on that particular day. Talking about good enough, the Boston Bruins, they're annihilating everything right now. They've got the President's Trophy. I think they've got the most wins in the regular season. I think it was 62 at 63 the games that they won to play in the Washington Capitals tonight. Shout out to them. But here's the thing. We all know that President's Trophy doesn't automatically, take you to a Stanley Cup final. But I think that this Boston Bruins team is different. Okay, I think they have a couple of 40 goal scorers on that team, And again, the Boston Bruins have been doing it all season long. And you just have to give props where props is due. And I think when you talk about the NHL, it's been the Boston Bruins all season long. They're annihilating everybody. The guy Pasternak is going crazy. They've got a lot of things going on with them. But again, the President's Trophy and having all of those points doesn't automatically mean that you're going to win the Stanley Cup. Because I remember a couple of years ago, the Washington Capitals, they were doing their numbers. And they were the President's Trophy winner. And I think they got beat in the first round of the playoffs. So that wasn't really a good look for them. But it is what it is, man. So, again, shout out to the Boston Bruins. for doing what they've done and they've accomplished this season. Tomorrow night, we're going to definitely be back in the building. We're going to talk a whole lot about the Minnesota Timberwolves and their situation. We're going to talk about the Wnba draft. We're going to talk about the NFL draft a little bit and get into some other things, man. We just appreciate y'all holding us down. I know we don't wear, suits, and we don't yell and pontificate and stuff like that. We just talk about what we talk about. A lot of it comes from the top of the dome, man, because I pride myself, man, on me and that cat can have a sports conversation about anything. I'm not going to get out here and say, oh, I'm a sports dude. And then when you ask me a question about, soccer or something like that, I can't, really talk to it like that. That's not what we do over here, But again, salute to everybody that's been rocking out with us, man. We appreciate y'all to the fullest, man. Appreciate y'all to the fullest, Talk some more about the NFL a little bit. We talked about the NFL draft and things of that nature, what's coming up in regards to that. Again, man, I just feel like, every season is its own, right? And again, when you talk about this upcoming NFL season, you got the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions again. And then you got a team like the Cincinnati Bengals. They talk about Joe Burrow, how he's going to be that next guy up. And I like Joe Burrow. Do I not like Patrick Mahomes? No, that's not it at all. But I think that Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals are definitely a team on the come up. And they're a team that's going to do some things. Joe Mixon, his situation is crazy. I don't know what's going on with that. And I hope that, he can get that situation taken care of before, the OTAs and things of that nature. Lamar Jackson and his situation, Odell Beckham just signed to the Baltimore Ravens. Like, wow, okay, $15 million guaranteed. I think that was the situation where he could make upwards to $18 million. But who's going to throw him the ball? Regardless of the fact, I don't really buy into what these cats be talking about, well, Lamar Jackson helped him come to the team and they're going to work something out. What are you talking about? You're just assuming and estimating like everybody else. If Odell Beckham and Lamar Jackson have this thing, how come they can't get the deal done? I understand. But still in all, at the end of the day, if I'm Odell Beckham and, I have a chance to, go to a team that has a situation, or maybe the teams that he wanted to go to don't really have situations at quarterback. The Jets don't know what they got going on. All right. So he just says, you know what? I'm going to go. They offer me the money. I'm going to jump on it. Odell Beckham coming off the injuries. It was the ACL. All right. A lot of people talk about how he could have been the Super Bowl MVP. I don't buy into that either. He made a couple of nice catches, a couple of nice plays, but I think it was going to be more about who was getting him the ball than what he was doing with the ball. So again, that's just what that is as far as that's concerned. We definitely are in the building, man, having some fun with it, talking what we do, how we do, and having some fun. And again, we want to see y'all tomorrow night in the building. Hopefully y'all can rock out with us tomorrow night. Wnba will be back in the building. Salute. And we've been around here for a year, man. It's been a whole year. Word up. And I think that we've done our thing. And, we've had fun with doing what we do. And I think that, having fun is the thing. You don't want to, just be up here saying anything just to be saying anything, man. And I think that's what a lot of these sports dudes do. They just talk just to be talking. But again, Odell Beckham, and the Baltimore Ravens, I think that situation is decent. And I think that there's a reason why the Ravens may have gone the free agent route to find, a good wide receiver. They had, remember, Derek Mason in the mid-2000s, and then they had Steve Smith in the 2010s. And, Mason had 4 1,000-yard seasons, okay? He signed with the Ravens in 2015 at the age of 31, all right? And remember, Steve Smith had a crazy year, over 1,000 yards in his first year with the Ravens, and he was 35, okay? If you remember Quadre Ismail, he had 2 1,000-yard seasons with Baltimore. Okay, he was a free agent in 1999. All right. But Baltimore Ravens have not able to get a Pro Bowl receiver on their roster yet. Okay. I think that Beckham, Odell, OBJ, he's a former Pro Bowler. You know what I mean? Who hasn't made a Pro Bowl since 2016, or he hasn't had a 1,000-yard season since 2019. So again, making him the #1 target, is going to be interesting to see. I think, the more interesting thing is going to be able to see if Lamar Jackson is going to, say, okay, I got a receiver. Now I'm going to sign. I think that, Lamar, like they say, he's, excited about it. Okay, that's cool. He's not under contract right now with the Ravens, and he hasn't signed his, the non-exclusive franchise tag that they placed on him. So again, I think that, a lot of this is, yet to be determined. And again, this wide receiver group right now is probably going to be the best that Lamar Jackson has ever played with. Okay, they got the pick Rashad Bateman, if he can stay healthy. You got Odell Beckham, you know what I mean? That's definitely a nice #1-2 punch. They also added Nelson Aguilar to be the slot receiver. Okay, that's a role that he's thrived in. Okay, he wasn't really, really that good with the Eagles, but when he went to the Raiders, he was doing his numbers. This might be the Ravens' best trio of wide receivers since Michael Crabtree, Willie Snead, and John Brown back in 2018. But that's not really saying a whole lot. The Ravens spending money at wide receiver is a great thing. They spent $18.25 million on wide receivers between Odell Beckham Jr. and Nelson Aguilar. I think that, it's a step showing that Baltimore is, willing to spend some money. All right, because remember, they just spent over $7.5 million last year at wide receiver, and then which was last in the NFL. Okay. They haven't spent more than $14.4 million on the wide receiver position in the offseason since 2018. All right. And that was Lamar Jackson's rookie year. All right. So I think that, they spent some money. And again, Baltimore still has a nice tight end in the situation. All right. One of the best receiving tight ends in the game, Mark Andrews. All right. He's a 3-time, Pro Bowler. He had 73 catches for 847 yards and 5 touchdowns. Okay. Last year, a year removed from having 107 catches for over 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns in 2021. All right. So again, Mark Andrews is not a name that people talk about, when you got the Kelseys and the Kittles and all of that. But he's at the second most catches, 302, second most receiving yards, 3,761, and receiving touchdowns, 31 by a tight end since 2019. All right. The only one in front of him is Travis Kelce. All right. He's definitely a playmaker. And I think that, he's going to need, to get the football as well. So you add, Mark Andrews and to the OBJs and the Aguilars and the Batemans. And I think, Lamar's got some people to throw the ball to. He's just got to get his situation together. You know what I mean? So again, the Baltimore Ravens could make some noise. And right now you're looking at them as being, the team to challenge the Cincinnati Bengals as far as that AFC North. We really don't know what you're going to get out of the Cleveland Browns. You're looking for out of a OTA, offseason, training camp with Deshaun Watson. Okay, we'll see what happens. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're probably going to be an afterthought. You know what I mean? Not as strong as Cincinnati, you know what I mean? Or Baltimore could be, you know what I mean, at this point in the game, or even Cleveland. So, again, somebody's got to hold down the basement in the AFC North. And I hate to say it, Slate. I hate to say it, Kia. The Steelers are going to have to really make some moves if they're going to challenge for a wild card, even a wild card in the AFC North. But we'll get into that. Yeah, man. So that's basically that. I just wanted to chop up that little bit. The NFL draft is coming up soon. Again, rock out with us. We're going to be in the building doing what we do. And Wnba will be here tomorrow night. I hope everybody is rocking out with us. We're doing a Wednesday night show. All right. Wednesday night show, y'all. Tomorrow night, down at In Sports Talk, first anniversary. We're doing what we do with the double dosages in the building. So smash that like and subscribe button. We are on YouTube. The name of the channel is down at In Sports Talk. I am left-handed at RM Desk. Shout out to my man, Win Walker. I'm praying for you, God. You know what I mean? And everything is everything, man. The 3-minute rant. I'm going to get the 3-minute rant cracking before we get up out of here, right? What I want to talk about tonight in the 3-minute rant is sports talkers. I like to talk about sports, man. I love to talk about sports. I think that it's something that, we could talk about outside of, the gossipy stuff and all that other things that go down and take place off the field. I think that, You know, I've been talking sports for a long time. I've been watching sports for, it seems like forever, you know, as long as I can remember. But it just seems like now, man, at the time that everybody, you know, seems to have an opinion. And it's cool. It's cool to have, you know, have your opinion about what goes on in sports and stuff like that. But you can't be really off base and just guess it. You know, you have to, you know, have some kind of substance behind what you're talking about. And again, I think that you know, we do it what we do over here. We have some fun with it. We like people to participate, you know what I mean? And sometimes people just want to, you know, chime in and see what they can, you know, learn. And I think that's the best thing that you could do is you could kind of, you know, put people on, you know, what you're doing and what you know about sports and stuff like that. And for me, it's good to go back. I'm able to go back. You know, and I know it's a different day and time now where, you know, it's more about the entertainment aspect of it and you have to appease the crowd and the audience and stuff like that. But to be able to talk about it and just have, you know, great conversations about sports and around sports is cool. You know, we talked about tonight, we talked about golf, we talked about hockey, talked about basketball, we talked about baseball, we talked about football. So again, man, it's going to be, you know, crazy. And again, people know who's who and they like to, you know, gravitate towards what they gravitate towards and what they understand. And everybody thinks that, you know, the sports thing is easy and it's not. You know, you have to be on point. You have to know, you know, what's going on and things change by the minute, literally, you know. And we just hope that people are entertained and they like what they like and they rock with us, man, because we do this for y'all. We do this for us. And we're just having conversations. That's what we out of there doing. Every week, we just have a conversation about sports and what we do when we hold our teams down. All right. So, again, we've been around for a year. Looking forward to, you know, to the next year of talking sports and rocking out with y'all and making it do what it do, man. And I just think that a lot of sports talkers, man, are not putting nobody down. They're just experts in their categories. They like to stick to basketball. They like to stick to football, you know, because again, those are year-round things. You know what I mean? But again, you like to diversify your bonds a little bit, you know, and be able to talk about things other than your expert, you know, where you have your expertise level at. So again, that's what it is. We are definitely in the building down at In Sports Talk, man. We rocking out with y'all. It's been a year now. Salute to you for rocking out. Smash that like and subscribe button. All right, down at In Sports Talk on YouTube, right? And if you like what we talk about, again, you can, you know, submit an offering. All right, the offering is $sign left-handed. You know what I mean? And basically, we just do this to, you know, keep, you know, what we're doing in effect, man. You know what I mean? We don't ask for a lot. We just like to, you know, show, you know, we appreciate y'all. We like to, you know, hope that y'all appreciate what we do. All right. Again, shout out to Wnba. She'll be rocking out with me tomorrow night down at In Sports Talk. We are in the building. You already know what it is. Shout out to everybody else that's been, you know, rocking with me, man, from when this journey started. You know what I mean? Wacko Bob, my man Carlito, definitely. You know what I mean? My man Rich, you know what I mean? And what they got going on over there. So everything is everything. Of course, the season ticket. You know what I mean? How can I forget them? You know what I mean? So again, man, we just hope that y'all like how, you know, how we giving it up and we make it do what it do every Tuesday night, 8 to 9 p.m. down at In Sports Talk, man. We are definitely in the building. And that's basically it. We're going to sign off and get up out of here. Quick score update. Atlanta Hawks lead the Miami Heat with about 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third. It's 81-70. All right. Y'all be peace wherever y'all go. Y'all enjoy yourself and make sure y'all do what y'all do. Down at In Sports Talk, man, is in the building. All right. Peace.